No, they don't want to talk. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. My name is Aaron Whittenberger. I am Vice President Professional Development at the Bluegrass IIBA chapter. As you may know, we have started during our chapter meeting doing a 10 or 15-minute little activity with AI, and we're calling it Learn by Doing. Many, like all IIBA chapters, or many of them, over the last 2, 3 years since GPT was announced to the world, made it very accessible to most people back in November of 2022. We have increased our um, meeting topics and that, uh, on AI. But many of that, just like last night's meeting, they come in and they tell you about it, tell you how to use AI. They may demonstrate it. And this is learn by doing. We are going to feed you things and we want you to feed it to AI. And whether you use Chat GPT, any of them are out there, Gemini, Copilot, Claude, what else? Perplexity. You can use any of them you want. We're not going to say you have to use ChatGPT. But over time, in the next several chapter meetings, we are going to have these use cases or these business case studies. And I just fed one to you in the chat. And this is the second one, actually, because we started this last month. And there will be a different case study every month. So last month we did the banking industry. We did a mobile check deposit app. This month it's manufacturing. We're going to talk about an inventory system and specifically reordering for inventory. And if you want to open that case study, I want to just go through it briefly so we understand what the pain point is, what we're talking about here before we start feeding stuff and getting information from generative AI so that we understand what it is we're investigating here. So my thing, you like my picture? So here's our case study in that. Again, it's an inventory management system at Tech Parts Manufacturing. So, and I'm not reading the whole thing, but let's talk about the important parts. We got a 45,000 square foot manufacturing facility. That's maybe small. 1,120 employees in that, but you can get the metrics there. 85 million in revenue. So manual inventory management. Currently, we manage inventory through a combination of spreadsheets, legacy enterprise resource software. That's right up your alley, Rada. The process is heavily dependent on manual intervention by an operations team consisting of 6 full-time inventory coordinators, 2 supervisors, and a manager. So they're actually going out and counting inventory, and depending, and then they do manual reordering, through these spreadsheets and that. So, very convoluted, very old, and very manual process. So as we read down and everything, we'll see the major pain point here is there's often many stockouts, and that because we didn't order in time. So pain point, how can tech parts manufacturing reduce production delays caused by inventory stockouts while simultaneously minimizing excess inventory holding cost, all while improving consistency and auditability of the reordering decisions? So you can see in our operational challenges, you can imagine, we want to make a particular product and we don't have the raw materials to make it because we're out of inventory. So they're saying 280,000 in lost revenue in one quarter due to these stockouts and everything. So that's the gist of this. What is going? Then the opposite issue, excess holding costs. So when they order too much or order too soon, and that, we're going to hold that inventory in the warehouse, and that costs money. And that, so how can we reduce having too much inventory, but make sure we got it when we need it? So kind of trying to get to a more just in time, um, process when it comes to inventory. And, there's nowhere in here is it talking about reducing the staff of six coordinators, two supervisors, and a manager. But, that might be a side benefit out of this and that. But it is not any type of goal or that of this initiative. Reducing rush orders. So there's going to be additional premium shipping cost in that. So there's your primary objectives. So reduce the stockouts, decrease inventory holding cost, improve order decisions, increase operational efficiency, and enhance the supply chain visibility. The one thing that we had last month and we have in this month, well, before I get there, here's your in scope, out of scope. So this is strictly about reorder point of your inventory. When do we reorder? How much do we reorder? And that kind of thing. So it's not about getting into replacing the entire ERP system, any other manufacturing process that's going on. This is about inventory and when do we reorder. The one thing that we will probably have in all of these case studies that we're going to develop is that we're going to identify the key stakeholders. And that, so we had 8 last time. I think there's 9 in this one. And that, but your stakeholders that you're going to work with is an important part of the BA work in that. So you have all kinds of things or all kinds of stakeholders. So you have the VP of operations, an inventory operations manager, inventory coordinators. Then we have our controller. So finance, your supply chain manager. So you can see there, sales, customer and sales teams, operations, project lead, project manager. Of course, IT is going to be involved, your system administrator. And we have QA manager here. So that then your success criteria and that. And then we identify what the business analyst challenge is here. So the BA assigned to this project, you face a complex set of challenge that go beyond simply documenting requirements and creating diagrams. Success depends upon navigating technical organization. So elicit, and you will never hear me say gather requirements. We do not, as BAs, we do not gather requirements. We elicit them. Requirements are not sitting in the fields like flowers for us to go and pick. There's a lot more than just documenting what stakeholders say to us. But you're going to elicit, clarify, and document actual business logic that operates in the current manual system. Identify conflicting requirements early, surface hidden assumptions. So a lot of the stuff that we do and that goes into elicitation, not gathering. So facilitate stakeholder alignment, make conflicts visible. So much of the stuff that we do every day as business analyst. So any questions about the case study itself? You think you understand what the ask is here and what our work initiative is about? Notice I don't call it a project. It is, but this is our work initiative. Everybody okay? All right. With that, I think I do have it in my clipboard. Let me put in the chat, now that you have that, here's the prompt. Here's the first prompt we're going to send. And that. So what we are asking you to do, like we said, we're going to do, it says right down here, learn by doing. So what we're asking you to do is open a browser, go to your favorite AI tool. I'm going to use ChatGPT here. And, whatever tool you use is fine in that. But there will be some way of uploading that document. So here you got add photos or files. So I will get the PDF, and there it is. And I could just put the prompt right in there. And you can see, as a business analyst assigned to this project to automate the inventory ordering, to reduce stockouts and inventory holding costs, please write a communication plan. So we're not even asking for requirements yet. We want a communication plan to the identified stakeholders throughout the project, including frequency, format, key topics, and each stakeholder. So feed that to Chat GPT or generative AI. Let's see what you get. Okay. I think it's still writing. It's still writing for me. There we go. And it's splitting things out. So that's 3. So it's identifying all my stakeholders and what's their key topics.
Hey, Aaron, have you done a study on the different results and how they come back with different engines?
Well, we have not done a study on it, but we have made mention of it and had noted that even if 2 of you are using the same tool, like if somebody is using ChatGPT, fed them the same document, the same prompt, you might get a slightly different answer. So, and certainly, like Greta was saying, you may absolutely get a different response from ChatGPT versus Claude versus Gemini. So it really depends. And if you want to do that kind of comparison, feed that document and that prompt to 2 or 3 of the generative AI. And then, you decide which ones you like best. So here's the basic communication plan.
Can you hold it right there? I'm looking at mine right now. Oh yeah, mine came back very differently than yours.
Oh, really? Show
Yep.
us. Here, let me stop sharing. Are you permitted
Yep,
to?
I can. Yep, just give me a sec. I had to get to the right screen here. And then where is it?
Hey, Jennifer, Chanel, thank you for joining us. Did you get the document did you get the document and the thing? Can you post the PDF again? Okay.
So my matrix, it broke mine out by stakeholder and how to communicate with them.
Okay.
And then down at the bottom, obviously the chart is done differently because yours was broken out. Like here's my stakeholder and the frequency and then the format.
All right. For those need to catch up with us, I just fed the PDF of the case study back into the chat,
Okay.
as well as that first prompt asking for a communication plan. So you did get a matrix there.
I did at the bottom. Yep.
Okay, Chanel got it. So she got the stuff I just fed. All right. And your frequencies are different. You got a bi-weekly, a weekly, a weekly,
I
monthly.
got biweekly and monthly, daily. Ooh.
Yeah, that's something, isn't it? And that's by
Quarterly.
stakeholder, isn't it?
Yeah. And I used Copilot.
Okay. And then my first column in my table was communication type. There was a project kickoff meeting, weekly team status, so it wasn't broken out by stakeholder, but mainly by method of communication.
Did you have key topics on yours?
I have purpose. So my columns were communication type, audience, frequency, format, and purpose.
But yeah, you had an extra column in yours then as well.
So purpose it might relate to topics, but maybe not.
Sure. Right, because this one, again, you're talking your executive sponsor, you're talking timeline, risk, and ROI. It's very specific to like what that character would care about or what that stakeholder would care about. My
Okay.
boss ran his through Claude and said his looks very different than ours as well.
Okay. So Retta, you said you just recently transitioned to a new role. You're still with US Venture?
At the bottom of the matrix.
No, I'm now with
No?
Miller Electric, Illinois Tool Works out of the Chicago area.
Oh,
It was
okay.
a massive shift. They had some leadership
guess
structure
so.
changes at the last location and this opportunity came up and it's been a blast. It's been a week and a half, but it's been a blast so far.
Oh, okay. You're still in Wisconsin.
I am. I'm instead of it being a mile away, it's 4 miles away
You're 4 miles away from Chicago?
from my house.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Thanks, Griffin.
All right.
Thank you.
So, man, did your results come different than ours?
Yeah, I came up with mine's going to be a little bit different too. And I think everyone, even if you use Copilot, Claude, whatever, if you don't direct how you want the table to look, you're probably going to get a different result. So if you have a certain way that you want the table to look, if you just feed that, even after we've done this prompt, if you can say, hey, refine the table and, make it by whatever meeting artifact, frequency, audience, and owner, it'll probably take a shot at doing that versus whatever it came up with. So, just because we all came up with a little bit different table, we didn't give it a lot of direction on what table to make. So it took a shot. And obviously you can, give another prompt and refine it. So, hey, I want you to refine your result.
Yeah.
You gave me this, I want this, and it'll give you that. So,
And you could certainly put it in that first prompt, right?
yeah, you could have put it in there too. And I guess what I guess my part of what I'm saying is, even if your first prompt doesn't cover everything you want, you see your result and you're like, I want to refine my result. Add to the prompt. Just keep going with it. Say, here's what's good, here's what's bad. I want the format to look like this. It'll do that. So just continue to refine it through prompting. So even if your first prompt doesn't give you what you want, you can refine it through additional prompts. So what we could do if we wanted to, like the four of us that got our results, if we wanted to come to an agreement of, hey, what we want the different columns to be, and we all plugged it into our prompt, we'd probably come up with something, at least it'd be the same format. So it may still
Yes.
have some different result in the
In the text itself.
field, but yeah, we would get closer.
Yeah.
So just an FYI, just a thought. So,
All right.
I wouldn't throw out that, hey, it's terrible because we all didn't get the same answer. Nah, not
Yeah, yeah,
really. It's
definitely
still
not.
good. How long did it take you to do this? It took like 2 minutes, like how long would it take you to do this longhand? Couple
Mhm.
hours. It gives you a great starting point.
So, Jennifer, Chanel, Stephen, anybody else? You want to share what you got? Oh, it was Jennifer that's on the phone. Okay. So Jennifer might not be able to share with us if she's on the phone. All right, let's move on. I got a second prompt. Here we're going to ask for a context diagram. So they're in the chat. So just continue on with what you got and everything. Let me get rid of that. Here I am. So here's my chat GPT. I can feed that prompt right in there, asking for a context diagram in the mermaid context. So basically, a mermaid is the format. So it's not actually going to give me an actual context diagram, but give me the code to actually create it. I could create. Okay, so it's given me some different options at the end here. It can put it in swim lane process flow, can create a level one decomposition diagram or a data flow diagram. But if I fed this into a mermaid or the proper tool and everything, it would create the context diagram for me. So it's showing my external identity entities, the ERP system, suppliers, inventory coordinators, production department, finance system. So it's showing you what it didn't actually draw it. I guess if I did not put that mermaid format in there, that it might have actually drawn me a diagram. And I
And
did this at work. I asked for a process flow and it created me a swim lane thing. And I was not happy with it. It put many of the processes in the wrong swim lane. So I kind of had to redo that from scratch. But it will do diagram. Did anybody actually get a diagram?
I got the diagram and I got the option to copy the code that makes the diagram. If you want to
Excellent.
see it, I can show
Yes.
you. Let me show you what I got.
Tell me. Because I was
Let's
really
see.
surprised when I first did that and it just gave me the code.
Yeah, mine it's giving me the option to it shows the diagram and the code and it's giving me the option to do the code. So let me share my screen with you. And
Okay, so
you should
Jennifer
see.
Jennifer put in the chat that she's using Gemini. And for that first prompt, it gave her a nice table, a key stakeholder analysis summary, and an option to copy to Google Sheets.
Nice.
Oh, this looks cool.
Yeah, so here's what we got or what I got. So put the ARP system at the top. It had the inventory level and production plants here, the inventory reordering system, which is where we really care about, purchase order suppliers, order confirmation, reorders, notifications, adjustments, manual overrides, inventory coordinators, production department, reorder status, material requirements, finance system, payment requests, approvals. Not bad. So then we got the diagram, and then you also have the option here to copy the code. So if I wanted to, I could copy this code
Hey,
to the
you could
clipboard.
download that as an image, that
Right, right.
PNG
You could
I
download this as
saw.
an image as well. So you could download the image, you could copy the code. Um, then you have
So,
other.
yeah, yours identified the same entities as mine did, the
Oh, that's
external
good.
entities.
That's good. But anyway, there's one. Does anybody
Okay.
else want to share one?
I just got the code.
You just got the code, Chanel? Okay. Did you
What
get
would
a
you do with the
diagram?
code?
What
Where
was
would you
that,
put the
Rex?
code? Where do you put that code?
You would have to find the proper tool to put that in. Um, whether that's Lucid Chart or Mermaid, I think has a tool that you could put that code in and it would actually draw the diagram for you.
Gotcha.
And I was wondering if I actually put that thing in,
I don't know.
so put that first thing and not ask it for mermaid format. Give me a context diagram. The system should show in the central box, including external. So we identified here, yeah, it should give you the same external because that's what we asked for. Label the things. Can be, I'll take that last sentence out. So if I don't ask for mermaid itself, will it actually draw me? Still giving me the code.
I still want you to do code.
Yeah,
Yeah,
saying directly in mermaid. And that might be influenced by the previous.
that's exactly what I was thinking. Your
thing.
previous prompt
Yeah, if
is
I
making it like that.
actually started a new,
Yeah, if you started over and did it again, could
it
probably.
may give me the actual diagram, but
So
Yeah,
that's what I'm getting there.
I keep getting the
you
same
might.
thing as it's asking me, do you want a swim lane? Do you want a process flow diagram? It just keeps updating the mermaid code. It's not actually ever
I
showing me
see.
said diagram.
I just took
You
the
could.
code.
Yeah, go ahead.
I took the code and put it in Draw IO and it created the diagram.
Raw IO, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and let me get back there. Uh, so would you like me to also generate, just let me know. So I can say, please draw a uh, level, I guess it's got a -1 DFD. So give me a data flow diagram. So the first time I did this, it directly asked me,
Yeah.
would you like a level 1 data flow diagram? I just had to simply answer yes. So again, all I'm getting is code and not the actual, you want a level 0 DFD,
You
physical versus
yeah,
logical
try.
DFD.
You could try a redirect. Yeah, you could try redirecting it. Say instead of generating code, generate the actual diagram. Show me the diagram and just see what. I don't know if this will work, but it might. You're being nice and polite too. It's good.
Please and
Please
thank
draw the
you. Should I
diagram.
type in please and thank you?
You should. Actually, it'll be nicer to you. It'll be more pleasant to you if you do.
I just by habit do it.
There it goes.
And look,
It made you an ASCII
it's
diagram.
very
That's okay.
basic thing in
That's
that,
all
but
right. Yeah,
it looks like it's uh huh. Where's my
it's doing it. Yeah,
inventory
so yeah,
levels? Data store. Who asked for an inventory data store? So here's my generate reorder recommendations. All right, this is not the
let's
context
see.
diagram. This is the data flow diagram.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So I was expecting
It is a
a
data flow
context
diagram. It's
diagram
still
and
on
no, that's not the way it's
it's
supposed to
still on
look.
data flow diagram.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
okay. So it will, and that's, you know, interesting. And I got a copy code thing up there. Looks like it's using PGSQI. That might be a drawing utility. Okay, just tell me what you want. Did I have my next prompt? No, that was back to the context diagram, wasn't it? Anybody else want to share what you had gotten?
I can share the draw IO diagram if you want to see that.
Okay.
Um, do you see my screen?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, so this is what it created. I just went to insert and pasted the code here.
Okay.
Wow, it's pretty
So
good.
more horizontal versus the vertical one that Van shared, but you got it.
And I'm using perplexity.
Okay. Excellent.
Hmm.
If y'all can hear me, I posted the Gemini picture in the chat.
Oh, looky there. It's got colors and everything.
Yeah, you like that?
That's pretty good. Yeah, or at least it looks good. I don't know if the content's any good, but it's pretty. But it's probably not bad. Okay, it's got the finance system, it's got
It's
the ERP system, it's
it
got
appears to be a
suppliers.
good starting point where we could tweak it if
Yeah,
needed.
I think so.
Yeah.
It looks really good. It's not bad. It's a really good start.
That actually one is.
I like the picture there, Jennifer.
Mhm.
Okay.
Here.
Let's see. Oh, I was going to put it in there, but let me see if I got it. So post it in the chat. No, it looks like it's
This is what hers created.
still the old one.
Yeah.
Am I muted? No. You can hear
We're
me.
good.
Okay. Actually, it might have been my next prompt that I had in there. Let's try this. So here we're doing what Van suggested earlier. My cursor won't go back into the prompt area.
Oh, well, that's weird.
No, it won't.
Oh,
This should be where I
now you're
left
good.
off.
Yeah, now
Yeah,
it's
I'd
adapted.
opened up a new one. Okay, so you can see here's the prompt. Did I put it in the chat yet?
I don't think you did. I don't see it yet.
There you go.
Okay.
So context diagram looks good, but I need add the demand forecasting system as an external entity. Change the label the data flow from ERP to low stock alert. Remove the direct line to finance systems since the data comes through ERP. Okay, so here's what Van suggested earlier. Okay, I like this diagram. Here's a few little tweaks I want to make to it. And again, I'm going to get code because it went back to the,
I got code too, because it went back to the mermaid request.
yep.
I can share mine. I got a result.
Okay.
Share. Oops, let me share. Share. Okay, so what we got is, so before it looked like this. So it had the ERP system at the top and then the inventory and things below, which is logical, makes sense. So we said, change that, make the ERP just show a low stock alert and add a demand forecasting system. So it tried to do that. So it took our,
You got the demand forecasting system up there.
yes, we got demand forecasting system with data. It put the automated inventory reorder system at the middle, put the ERP over here for the low stock alert, and didn't make it the top of the diagram anymore. And then I think it kept the other stuff about this. Oh, it got rid of finance.
Altogether.
We wanted that, but it's gone. Yeah, it's gone. We got rid of
Is it above
finance
ERP?
is just a pain anyway.
Now,
Finance
remember
system
a
data
context
Oh, remove the
diagram.
direct line. Oh, it's a,
Yeah, remember a context
you know,
diagram.
it got rid of it.
Remember that a context diagram is to show all the external entities that directly communicate with your system and that.
Right.
So since we removed the direct line, it should remove it from your diagram.
It
It'll
did.
be
It did.
your data flow diagram, but not your context diagram.
Mhm. You're exactly right, Aaron. That's why it did that. It's pretty smart. That's impressive.
Okay.
Pretty good.
You
stop
got
sharing.
a that's nice in the chat there, Van.
Good. I had nothing to do with it. But
Anybody
man, is it
else?
powerful? That's really neat how it can do that so fast.
Yeah. Okay, so as BAs though, we are all about requirements, right? So let's ask it for requirements.
You're gonna elicit ChatGPT to give you your requirements?
You fed it.
I'm teasing. I'm teasing. I'm teasing.
Oh, that's the case study.
We're going to gather them up like flowers in a field.
Yeah, I actually did what I did earlier. Said instead of giving me the code, please draw the diagram. So it did draw me a, but it's not rendering a really pretty picture like what you guys were. So if I feed the latest prompt, so it'll get, information from the case study and other things that we did. And it's going to start writing me some requirements. The system shall.
Oh.
Now, I could have made that a much more structured prompt and ask for it in table format with priority and which stakeholder that came from, any kind of additional attributes that I would want, and that so.
So Aaron, once I got my results, I said, please rewrite into user story format.
Mm.
So you can get them
I
in the
think
agile
I have
formatting
a
that you
prompt.
needed.
I think I have a prompt for that.
Sorry, I just did that.
Duh.
It still has it broken down in by your sectional areas, which is nice. Inventory management, order processing, integration, performance, security, and user interface.
Okay. Okay. So, yeah. So you saw what I was getting from my um, ChatGPT. If I could get to it. So there's the know it to user things in that. So and then ask me a question. What you want a BRD? You know, you want functional requirement specifications, requirements traceability matrix. So you can see it went through and did that, and Retta, you translated these to user stories, huh?
I did, and then I asked them to format the user stories into features. And then so it grouped them then in
Excellent.
features so that they can kind of go together nicely.
Excellent. And I know we're getting close on time here in that. I have to look at my future prompts here and see if I did that because I think I did. I know I did on the first case study. Here's my next prompt in which I'm asking for that make traceability matrix and that. So Jennifer, these requirements focus on core system logic for calculating optimal inventory levels and reorder points for 350 critical items. Okay.
Where'd the 350 come from? Was that in your initial documentation, Aaron? I don't know that I saw
I'm
three.
not sure.
Okay.
It might have been in the case study. Anybody feed the last prompt? Asking for that traceability matrix?
I sure did. Do you want to see it?
Sure.
Please.
So here's what it looks like. So it created all of the requirements, and then it created a traceability matrix that looks like this. Gave each one of an ID, a description, an objective, priority. It tried to make a priority. So here's the different ones, and let's see how many it made. It made different. They have different ones in different areas, so it didn't make that many. So, oh wait, I got to keep going. I see why. Here they are. Yeah, there's more.
Nice table format.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. I'm not sure if it's complete or not, but it did a lot. So you'd have to review this and make sure it makes sense. But
It's a starting point.
yeah,
And you can always
it's
ask.
good. Yeah, it's a good starting point.
You could always ask your Gen AI.
Yeah,
Do you have any identified gaps within those requirements?
yeah, I can say this. I'll say, please make a complete.
Maybe assumptions and gaps, dependencies, conflicts. Are there any conflicts in these requirements?
The good thing about Copilot is it can understand your misspelling pretty well too.
Bonus.
Let's see if it did any better.
Compiling
Okay,
requirements.
here's complete. Here it is. Here's complete. This should be better. We'll see. And on and on and on. It's still generating. Yeah, this is better. See, like what it did before, it didn't do them all. It just did like a handful. I had to specify and say, hey, I want to see them all. I don't want to just see, like whatever you guessed. So this did all of the requirements. Before
There's a
it didn't.
scroll bar underneath that OP07, OP07.
Oh,
So
yeah,
there's
right
more
here.
to the right, right?
Yeah, there's more. Yeah, there's a bunch more. So now what it did was it broke them down into the different
I
areas and
was
gave
I
me
was talking about the horizontal scroll bar.
Left to right. If you scroll up a
down.
bit, if you scroll
Yeah,
up to
go
the
to the
previous
bottom
one,
of one of your tables.
Yeah. Oh, I got you. I got you. Let me go.
So you got another column or two over there.
Let me go. Oh, you're right. I think I must. If I can see it.
Yeah, you have to get to the bottom of one
I'll
of your
get to the bottom.
right
This
there.
table, that guy. Yeah. So, oh, yeah. What else does it show? You're right. It's showing some other things. Let me go to the top. We'll see what those are. Those are, it's really sticky, or I say fiddly to get it just right and scroll up and down. But
Yeah.
what's it showing? Up just a little, not a lot. Acceptance criteria. So, okay.
Related
Priority.
stakeholders, priority. I think priority was the third column.
Okay, and
They
let's
got
go here.
related stakeholders, acceptance criteria.
Yeah, so this gave me a complete list, which is better. So like if you ever get it, have that happen where, hey, it didn't show me a whole lot, ask for more. Say, hey, I don't think you gave me everything. Show me everything. So that's what it did.
Okay.
So anyway, there you go.
an interesting prompt would now be based on the information I've given you, what am I not addressing?
Oh, I can show that if you want. You guys want to see it?
Yeah, you could certainly
great.
ask that.
Keep
And
going.
that'll lead into the prompt that I just put into the chat.
Sorry, Aaron.
Area. No, quite. Like I said, Retta, you led right into me. We haven't discussed business rules yet. I mean, there's going to be a reorder point. How do you calculate that? How do you calculate what your inventory, your number of units that you're going to order? When you hit that reorder point. So there's going to be business rules around all of that. So now that you've addressed, a couple of diagrams, your data flow and, all of that, your context diagram, then you got into requirements. Business rules is certainly something. You do what Retta did and translate your business or your functional requirements into user stories. So if you're working in Agile, you could have them, written the way that works for your team. But you also will have to identify rules. What's the business rules? What is the reorder point for each one of those 350 critical items? Flag any conflicts or ambiguities. Suggest additional rules based on typical manufacturing scenarios. I was just reading the last bullet point in that prompt. So I know I got another one or two prompts to go here.
We might run out of time.
But I was trying to see if I ever did what Retta did there. So
User stories.
yeah. But here, we basically asked for information about business rules. Now let's take that into this is a very well structured prompt telling prompt GTP what it is I want and how I want you to format that answer. And so here I'm going to ask for a business rules document. And for each rule, give me this information. So, as we have said in these exercises, is it's more than requirements, and Gen AI can be an absolute assistant to you, quicken your pace, um, and help you do it. I talked about a recently used Gen AI to create a business use case for me to try to tell the technical team who was trying to build a solution, but they didn't understand what the business did. They didn't know how they functioned. Well, how are you supposed to provide a solution if you don't really understand the business and how they operate in that? So, I talked to the business people involved, and my real lead uh, developer who supports that system. And, together we documented what a business case was, or what all the steps were. I fed that into Gen AI and had it create me a full use case, that basically went through all the steps and everything of that whole business process. And I had to tweak it. It would have taken me a couple hours to draw that, or to document that into a use case, and that. Gen AI did it in less than a minute. And then I spent 15 minutes on tweaking it, and went back and verified it with my developer and the business people. And we came to consensus that what I had was correct. And then I asked Gen AI to draw me a diagram of that process. That's when it gave me the swim lanes and didn't quite get it right. I didn't like what I got, so I redrew it. And that's using my business analysis expertise to say, no, this is not appropriate for my scenario. I need to do something else. And I could have fed it prompts to say, no, that process doesn't belong in that swim lane. It goes down there, and get it right. It probably would have taken me just as long time to do that as to draw the diagram myself. So up to you as to how you want to do that. I did redraw the diagram because I didn't want a swim lane diagram. I just wanted a process flow. And that's the way I drew it. But here, again, it's not all about requirements. You can ask it for anything, any deliverable you have as a business analyst, whether it's communication plan, any of your diagrams and models, work breakdown structure, functional decomp, anything that you typically do on a day-to-day basis as a business analyst. And then into requirements, functional transition requirements. You can ask it all and get that, and then have it formatted into a document format for you. But I will also say, as I've said in many of these events, you never take the results that you get from Gen AI and just hand it to your stakeholders, because you're not doing your stakeholders any favors if you have not reviewed that and make sure that it was appropriate, that it was accurate, that it was complete. And so that's where your business analysis experience comes in, to make those determinations, and tweak it just a little bit, and then provide it to your stakeholders. Well, I hope you got a lot out of this. Kept you for 2 minutes longer. Anybody have any questions or anything? I actually got through most of my prompts I had for this, so got further than what I thought. So thank you for joining me today. Have a great rest of your day and a great rest of your week. I appreciate you being here.
Thanks. Bye.